ॐ तत्पुरुषाय विद्महे वक्रतुण्डाय धीमहि तन्नो दन्तिः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ साईश्वराय विद्महे सत्यदेवाय धीमहि तन्नः सर्वः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ जयन्ती मंगलकाली भद्रकाली कपालिनी दुर्गा क्षमा शिवदात्री स्वाहा स्वादा नमोस्तुते। ॐ शांति शांति शांति। Sairam Lin, Sairam from Malaysia.
Sairam Sharma, Sairam from New Zealand, and Sairam to all of our loving listeners wherever you may be. And thank you, Bhagwan, for allowing Sharma and I to give this meditation. It is like a meditation, really, on Swami. How you cannot really predict what Swami is going to do, ever. You cannot say, oh, Swami will do this, Swami wouldn't do that. And the topic of our talk today is, you cannot second guess Swami. I have seen several incidents which I witnessed personally in the Darshan line, where Swami did something that everyone said, oh, Swami would never do that. And of course, that's almost like a red flag to a bull, because as soon as you say that, it is almost though Swami will create an incident to prove to you that Swami is beyond our prediction of how Swami will do, what he will say, how he will behave in any given situation. Because Swami is first and foremost a divine being. And if you have never been in the presence of a divine being, of course you expect them to act like us, because that is how we can relate to them. As Swami said, if he came walking toward us with Lord Vishnu, with 12 arms, holding different objects or weapons, and whirling and rotating, and like a form of fire, we would faint or scream or run away, just as when Lord Krishna revealed his true form to Arjuna. Arjuna said, please, Lord, please, come back to the form of Krishna that I know and love. He couldn't take it. So, fortunately, Swami is that Swami, that little form that we love, and the orange robe, and the fuzzy hair, and the smiling face, and the one eyebrow that goes up when he thinks, oh, you are being cheeky? He has the most wonderful one of his eyebrows. It was his right eyebrow. He could lift it, and it turned into a sort of triangular shape when someone was talking rather, smartly about things. Swami was like, oh, is it so? Is it? And so I was sitting in the darshan line one day in the second arch. I had front row, and sitting next to me was a great lady devotee. She had been coming for many years. She and her husband, they were much, much beloved by Swami. And I knew from her accounts of their private interviews that they had had many wonderful interactions with Swami. He was very, very happy with the service they were doing for him in another country. It had to do with a school they had established, and he always made them vibhuti and blessed them mightily with many divine gifts. And then her husband became very ill and was in the super hospital, and the prognosis did not look good. On this occasion, the lady was sitting beside me, and as Swami came along, by this time he was in his throne that looked like a wheelchair. It was a white seat with a gold embellishment, and you could only see the handles at the back where the boy would be pushing him. Did not look like a wheelchair, except there was a footrest for him. And I could see this woman was crying. Obviously, she was terribly worried about her husband, and she could not help herself, and Swami stopped his chair right in front of her and beckoned to her with his finger, like, come. And she came towards him on her knees and literally fell into his arms, sobbing. And Swami had his arm around her, gently consoling her. And I never forgot this, because this is a scene you would not normally see in the darshan line. we were just at the entrance, and so near the entrance to where Swami comes in, and so not many people could see this, but it was happening right in front of me. And I could see that she was hoping for him to make vibhuti to take to her husband. And then Swami did something which none of us expected. We all were expecting to see the circular movement of the hand where he would create vibhuti for her. Instead, he took a packet of it and threw it down onto the floor. And it meant that she had to break loose from the form of Swami and go forward on her knees to pick up the packet of vibhuti. This made a deep impression on me. It was as though Swami was saying, do not cling to this form. And he was talking not just about himself, but perhaps of her husband. Now, I cannot possibly interpret what Swami does. Please don't misunderstand me. But the thought came to my mind, this time he is letting her know that his healing and his grace is much bigger than that little form in the wheelchair. And that we must learn not to cling to that form, because even that form is not going to last forever. And then she moved on, and she came back to her seat and was silent. The tears had dried up, but she had been in the divine arms. This was a sight I will never forget. On another occasion, one of our doctors was called in, one of our New Zealand doctors was called in for private interview. And when she came out, she was crying and holding what looked like a robe of Swami's, orange robe. And there's a little bit, I could see some gold embroidery. And I thought, I'm not so sure this is a robe. But she was convinced it was a robe. Next day, she came out wearing it. And she had said to me later, I think Swami has given me a sari. It is not a robe. There are no buttons. It is one long length of material. I will be wearing it to darshan. She came out in it, but it was actually quite a short piece of material, not 9 yards, and she looked rather unusual, wrapped in this shorter piece of material. And the Sevadals came up to her, tugging at it, saying, Madam, this is not a sari. She told them, Swami has given me this in interview. It must be a sari. And the Sevadal said, Ma, this is one of Swami's dhotis. Swami never gives dhoti to a lady. And my doctor said, well, he's given one to me. And so she went back and unwrapped it. And sure enough, from then on, she realized, indeed, Swami had given her dhoti. And at the same time, he had said to her, lady doctor. And she had thought, oh, Swami means I am a lady and I am a doctor. But in future, she became the medical officer for the Women's Rescue Service here in New Zealand that rescues abused Asian women and Indian ladies from bad marriages or from difficult family situations where they are being harmed or threatened, their life threatened. And so you see, you cannot second guess Swami. Once he said to one youth, your wife is over there, pointing out into where the boy thought was the crowd of people here to see darshan. And the boy thought, oh, my wife is out here somewhere. I will have to make the effort to meet this lady. He didn't meet anyone that was apparently meant to be his wife. And then, much later, he realized something. He met the lady who was becoming his wife. He fell deeply in love. And this lady was from England. Swami had been pointing in the direction of England when Swami said, your wife is over there. So you see, we can never, ever second guess Swami. We can never say he will do this or he will do that. And indeed, even when we say, oh, Swami will take care of things, we ourselves have to do something too. We have to have absolute faith in him that he will do. That he will take care of us. And that he will do what is needed for us, not necessarily what we want. He will take care. He has promised us that he will take care of us if we have full faith in him, be it faith in his vibhuti, faith in his picture, faith in his form, faith in his robe, faith in him as a flower, as a drop of rain, as the lightning in the sky, as the sun, the moon, and the stars. But it is only faith and only love that he wants from us. Om Shri Sai Ram.
Om Shri Sai Ram. Tasmat karunya bhavena raksha raksha Saishwara. Hari Om Tat Sat Shri Saishwara Arpanamastu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.